right, today we're going to talk about equivalent fractions. And when you see that word equivalent, what I want you to think is that they have the same value. So when we're talking about equivalent fractions, we want to think of fractions that have the same value. So if I see that fraction 1/2, what I want to think about is I want to think about multiplying, and we're going to use a strategy called the giant one. We want to use the giant one to find a fraction that is the same as 1/2. So if I multiply 1/2 by 1, I get 1/2. But this time, I want to use a different way to represent 1. So I am going to instead multiply by 6/6. And this really is equal to 1 whole. But 1 times 6 is 6. 2 times 6 is 12. So these two fractions have the same value. 1/2 is the same as 6/12. We could draw that out, right? Here's a rectangle split into 2. I'm going to shade in one of them. This time, I have a rectangle split into 12. And I'm going to shade in 6 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And look at that, it's the same amount. Now we could do that with anything inside of the giant one. As long as the numerator and the denominator are the same, it will have a value of 1. So, here we go. Let's think of some other ways we can use this giant one. If we're given 2 fractions, we can use it to help us figure out if they really are equivalent. So I can use the giant one and say, okay, see if this is true, 2 times what is 10? 2 times 5 is 10. And then 3 times 5 is 15. So 10/15. That works. That is true. Now, if we did that and both statements, meaning our numerators and our denominators, if it wasn't true, then we would say that those aren't equivalent, but these two are. Another way we can use the giant one is to find this missing piece. 100 120ths is equal to 4 what? So there's a couple things to notice with this one. This time, we're actually getting smaller. 100 times what gets you to 4? Now, a lot of you are thinking, I want to divide, which you could do because dividing by a giant one gives you the same amount. But we can always work backwards. Looking here, I see 100 times something is equal to 4. Now, if we wanted to work our way backwards, we could say that 4 divided by 100 is equal to what's in that box. And 4 divided by 100 is 0.04. So that's what's going to go inside my giant one. And now I can take 120 and multiply by 0.04, and I get 4.8. So 100 over 120 is the same, or is equivalent to 4 over 4.8. So those are some of the ways we can use the giant one to help us with equivalent fractions.